Hey guys, welcome back to Outdoor Asylum. Brad Allen got David St. John with us as usual. Got Dusty McDaniel back. So Dusty, you've been out of pocket for a while. Where all you been? Last time you were gone, you were in what, Milwaukee for a while, Wisconsin
I was
for a
in
while.
Milwaukee for work, but I was here like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So you getting old?
I'm getting old.
Was you here 2 weeks ago?
Or whenever the last time we did this
Was it 2 weeks ago? 'Cause
I think
it was
2
longer.
months ago.
Yeah, I think who's getting old? You getting dementia at an early age, early onset.
Sometimers.
So, well, I had Father's Day yesterday. How was your weekend, David? Did you do anything special for Father's Day?
I spent a lot of time with my girls and wife, family.
What about you, Dusty?
It was great. We went to a wedding reception.
Oh, God.
And then but then I got to go to the lake, which is fine, but it's Father's Day. Hey, let's go to the lake. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Everybody.
Then you're the one that's got to unload the boat, drive the boat, get
Oh,
everything
yeah.
ready, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy getting there. But a nap on the couch could have been good too. So. But I got that the day before, so we're good.
We had an interesting thing happen at our church, and it's always been a joke in our family. Like at church, Mother's Day is just a love fest for Mom. And then usually when Father's Day rolls around, it's like, you dads need to step it up. You got to pick up your game. And all the guys are like, man, what's going on? Why are we not catching the love? And I have to say that, like, the pastor that we have now, he really jumped on the guys' bandwagon. I mean, it was awesome. Like
Good.
he got talking about guys and being different from women and what guys need, and he even started touching on like sex and how that is more like the guys' love language is that, and like I didn't know what to do. It's great. Like
Father's Day is more important because your mom probably wasn't even in the mood. So you're here because of your dad. Let's just be honest about that. I mean, Father's Day is more important.
I didn't know what to do, and nobody did. Like all the guys, we're kind of looking around, we're like, yeah, man, he's awesome.
You're
but
quietly like,
yeah, but I didn't have enough courage to throw an amen. I've never I've never done that in church anyway. I'm not that guy that throws the amens in there.
Tell it like it is.
I was nerd, I didn't know.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. And
Our church has always pointed out that the most of people that come to church, Mother's Day is completely packed. It's completely full. Father's Day, it's about a third.
Yeah,
of what Mother's Day would be.
We used to call
because all the fathers wanted to go to the lake or go fishing or do whatever.
We used to call it the CEOs, Christmas and Easter only, and then you had to throw an M in for Mother's Day. But yeah, you can remember. Yeah, you'd have 80, 90 people in a little church you grew up in, but come Christmas or Easter, you had to find somewhere to sit, bring chairs in.
Yeah, standing room only, line the walls.
And it is good, like the family. Like there's a day for everything now.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my wife were talking about this yesterday on the way home from the Father's Day lake trip. Was like, there's a day for everything. It's like, but it is nice that some of the original core holidays is still where families do everything they can to come together. That's nice, and it's, that's the tradition part that's kind of cool. So, but yeah, Father's Day weekend was fun. It was fun.
We actually had a movie night Saturday night. My mom and stepdad come up, and mother-in-law, father-in-law, my girls and their husbands and boyfriends came over, and
did they let you pick the movie? Did they let you pick the movie?
No, my wife actually picked the movie. We actually went up and seen Top Gun Maverick in Marshall at the drive-in.
Oh, at the drive-in at Kenda.
When it first came out. Which was awesome. You sit in the back of your truck, got your ice chest back there, and you go to the little concession stand, for $50 up there and back, just for me and my wife last year when it came out. But she picked Top Gun Maverick. She bought one of these blow-ups, projector screen deals. It's got a protector on the front of it. You clip it together, and we had it blown up. And she had checked it the night before, and she said 8:45 is when we start the movie because that's when you can see the screen because of the sun and all that. So we actually did that Saturday night, had a big movie deal, and watched
Those
Top
are
Gun
fun.
Maverick.
I thought he was going to say like The Notebook is what he gave.
I was fixing to say I was going to go with Father of the Bride for Father's Day, but
hey, she went all out. We bought popcorn. She popped popcorn, put it in bags, put our names on the bags, and we had Mike and Mike's peanut M&Ms.
There you
We
go.
had it all lined up on the table. So Saturday night
that's pretty cool.
I cooked steaks and baked potatoes and things like that for the
those little projector things. Those are fun. Kids love them. Oh, yeah. And you can you don't have to buy the fancy screen, but you can just hang a sheet on the wall. Even inside in your living room, people do that just to make it big screen, make a pallet. It's pretty fun to do that.
Yeah. So Saturday night we celebrated pretty big with that.
I've seen lots of people who go camp and do it. Because the big side of the camper, they'll hang a sheet or something like that under the awning and let kids sit out there and watch a movie.
Yeah, next thing you know, you got the whole campground.
And all the kids are coming over, which is fine. But I've seen people do that, and it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I got one of those projector things, and I don't know if it's the same projector type thing that you're talking about. It's a pretty $high thing that I got one time at
He's implying
Best Buy.
You're cheap.
Do what?
I said, you're implying he's cheap. I don't know if yours is $high as mine.
No,
I got this one.
No, hear me out. I bought a cheap thing. I had just gotten a computer, which, it's a big thing for me.
1994.
And my nephew, my nephew had convinced me that I need to have this little thing that you set the laptop on, when you're sitting there working on it, so it doesn't make your legs hot, just comfortable, look at whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get one. So I get one. I get home, and there's a projector in this thing. And it was yours the one you have may be a $200,000 projector. I don't know what this one was, but it was a pretty high dollar deal that was in this box. And I'm like, what in the crap? Because this is like a $20, $30 deal that I had purchased, and now it's got this projector in there. So I called Best Buy back. And I'm like, hey man, this thing's in here. I don't know what's going on. They're like, well, you just bring it back, whatever. So I go back to the store and I take it back to them, and they don't say much about it. They're like, oh, okay, well, you can go get whatever you want to. So I did. And then the guy, the manager comes over and finds me. He's like, you the guy that brought that projector back? Yes, sir. And he gave me a gift card. Man, I just want to tell you thanks for bringing that back. And I said, okay, well, tell me, what's up? What happened? What's going on here? He said it's internal theft within the store, that people would – if we were doing that, if I worked at Best Buy, I'd put something expensive in a cheap box, and I'd tell you, hey, go get it's going to have it on there, so you go buy it for this, and we'll have a brand new expensive projector. So that's what had happened. And he was like, man, I appreciate you being honest. And I said, it's no problem. But I said, I'm really scared right now, because I was like, what if that girl that checked me out had noticed the rattling inside that box that I did detect, but it was the last one there? What if she'd opened that up? I mean, I'm guilty. I'm in on it. I'm one of these guys that was stealing it. I wouldn't have known anything about it, but you would have never believed that. I could have never convinced you of my innocence. So that shook me up a little bit. But that was
before the RFID chips. That was everything. People would buy a pair of cheap shoes and hide watches and stuff in it because nothing would ever go off. But now, all that stuff goes off because it's all got those little hidden tags, little RFID silver tags, whatever, and they're little metallic parts in it. So. That's even in food bags now.
But if that had gone off, I would have been. I probably got a body cavity search or something right there in the middle of Best Buy, just from just trying to.
Did you hear Melissa?
Yeah, baby, you ain't gonna believe this one.
They thought I was gonna stick a Gateway 98 in my butt and walk out of here. So,
all right. So we're talking about the topic of the day. We're in off season, duck season right now. So, I'm pretty excited. What do you got here? I just got a new shotgun. You've been shooting some targets.
So we had the idea because during turkey season, you always go pattern your turkey loads, your this choke, what TSS this or copper plated this or whatever. And we were like, we've never done this with our duck guns. So we switched out, put our duck hunting chokes in, grabbed random different types of shells, and started same way you do turkey gun, take a rest, and 25 yards, and was actually seeing what shells patterned out of what choke for duck hunting. And it's kind of funny because, these two, the same gun, my A5, the same choke, which was a close range style extended choke, but one of them's a 3.5 number 2, and one of them's a 3-inch 3 load, both at 25 yard. And in the inner circle, the 3.5 number 2 only had 30 pellets and didn't pattern well.
This is what now?
That's a 3.5 number 2 steel load. And then this was a 3-inch 3 steel load. And so literally 3-inch 3s, there was 15 more pellets in the 10-inch little kill zone circle than there was of the 3.5, and not just pattern off to the left like that. Like you can hold them up back to back, like you can see punch through. It was totally dissipated. So it's kind of cool. Like everybody thinks, oh, 3.5 more.
Yeah,
not necessarily. Like we found out that the cheaper, just 3-inch 3 straight steel, not saying the brand, but just your normal $20 box steel was patterning better than anything.
Do you think it was because like you knew that 3.5 was going to kick hard, so you was a little scared and you might have flinched before you squeezed the trigger, got off the pulling off of the target just a hair?
No, that's what I call well lead sleds for. like we set it up just like turkey loads. Yeah. This is to take the human error out as much as possible with variable and try to see what pattern. But it was funny. Mm-hmm. Like that's what the aim point was the center, same target, and then I did a 28 gauge, which is a lot less pellet, but that was pretty entertaining kind of too, looking at it. It's kind of the same pellet count, both of them shot to the high point, which is duck coming up.
So which one is this? This is 28 gauge, and this is
3-inch number 4s of just steel, and then 3-inch number 4s of a Bismuth tungsten style, like a heavy shot load.
Okay. Now you just like, we were talking about grass one time, the grass fire, and I said something about Bermuda, and you were correcting me like it's Bermuda. You know, you talking about bismuth
or bismuth?
There you go. Say it right, huh? Bismuth.
Do we need to get serious out here?
Is this? Yeah. Now you said you had some kind of agricultural degree, so I was wrong. Now what kind of
metallurgically degree do I have?
You got that too?
No.
Okay, bismuth.
But I'm not from Beattyville either.
Well, we are educated. Hey, I'm telling you.
Newport High School.
Hey, there's a guy that I know that makes duck calls that was from graduated Newport who works for NASA. I see him occasionally. So
you look in the mirror every morning.
It makes me feel better about me. You know, that he worked for NASA.
But that's the funny thing is, like that's what we were. You know, one, you've got a 28 gauge. Obviously, has a whole lot less pellets. But just laughing at the difference in what's on target, what stayed clumped. Really, the 12 gauge 3.5 to a 3-inch was really really fun to look at, because we ended up shooting that 3-inch 3 multiple times, and the standard steel run-of-the-mill 3-inch 3 load was patterned better out of most every choke out of the same gun than 3.5 this or that or this fancy loads. It's like,
and that was a 12 gauge though, right?
Yeah, that was 12 gauge.
12 gauge. Wasn't and 20, so 12.
That's the kind of thing, like we were laughing, like we do all this for turkey hunt and all that, and you're thinking, why would you not? We do it for deer hunt. We line our scopes up, and certain rounds shoot better out of certain guns. That's not knocking on any one brand. That's a common knowledge thing. Like you're going to have certain things shoot better out of certain guns. And so, but that's a fun summer off-season project. Is like between you and your buddies, you probably got multiple types of shells laying around, and get out there and pattern them. Like you'll be surprised probably what shoots through what choke the best.
So you start at 25 yards.
I did them all at 25 yards.
Do you back up to like a 40-yard shot, or
no?
You just
I didn't.
25?
I just did them all at 25 for a comparison, because most open chokes, if you woods hunts, that's about where you're going to start really opening out. Now, if you put in this was like a light modified. If you went modified or, improved modified, sure, do it at 40. You're going to be, but most cylinder, close range. I shot in my 28 gauge. I shoot a skeet choke lots of times in the woods.
Yeah.
And same with 12 gauge. I'll put a skeet choke in there and shoot them.
Now, what about I was going to ask about the choke. Are these factory chokes on here, or did you have something specific?
No, these were extended chokes. Okay. So, both of the 12 gauge on these was a Pattern Master close range. I think it was the Anaconda. Yeah, same choke.
Same choke.
I've had that one in my A5 since they come out with it and love it.
Anaconda?
The Anaconda, close range. It shoots great. The 28 gauge Benelli is the factory chokes they sent, and both of them were improved cylinder.
I was just about to ask if you shooting modified or improved.
That was improved cylinder. And so, and that shows on like the 28, you can see like you're starting to get, you've got a full 12-inch deal, but at 25 yards, a 12-inch spread, that's
a kill.
Yeah. You've got 7-8 pellets in the head and plenty on each side. That's a great pattern. But yeah, that's something like off season. It's fun too because you're getting out shooting.
I was going to get you guys your opinion on this, like, because I've got a gun that I need to have some type of work done on, and then I just got, I hadn't even fired the thing yet, but a couple weeks ago I got a Benelli, first Benelli that I've ever owned. I got Super Black Eagle 3. What do you guys have any experience with those or?
Well, so my 28 gauge is a Super Black Eagle 3, and then I had a 12 gauge, which it's still with us, our group, and a Super Black Eagle 2. And any shotgun, go shoot it without doing anything to it. Mm-hmm. Any shotgun you buy, when you pull it out of the box, put a modified, improved cylinder choke, whatever, and just go shoot it a couple times. Then shoot it at a target. Just like you were holding a rest, not free shooting skeet, hold on a rest, shoot it, see where it patterns. Especially with Benelli, because of the Italian, the European style deal, a lot of people go, well, they shoot high. Mine's always shot high. Mine's always shot to the left. They come with a ton of shim kit, spacers, and all that, and you can bring that back. And this is what professional skeet, Tarek Clays, that's what those people do. Like even my A5 and my Benelli, both on the drop, which is right where the receiver meets the buttstock, you have shims. Their thickness, 1, 2, 3, and they're also left to right. So I want it to drop to the right because I'm right-handed and the eye dominance and all that. And then I need length of pull. So I put the spacer at the end of the butt pad between it and the recoil pad. So now, instead of me up here like this, leaning over, now I'm out here, and it's already naturally to the right. So what happens is my head doesn't have to go as far to get down plane of the barrel.
Do y'all think that?
And it makes a world of difference throwing up quick shooting. If you line it up on a target where when you're holding a rest, leaned on something, and you're shooting good, it's on, and then you go to throw it up and shoot it, it makes a world of difference.
You think it makes any difference with because I think most of the time when people do this, it is off season. Most of the time, if you're doing this, you're patterning, you're doing whatnot, you're doing it in spring, summer. So you're probably out there in a t-shirt. Or something like that.
Compared to
the bulky stuff that we're shooting.
I can see a difference when it's really cold and I put the bigger jacket on. Yes. But most of that is me getting hung up coming up here because I have the spacer in than actually when I get on it. But most people with today's technology and clothing, everybody's wearing more fleeces and vests that aren't as thick. It's not as puffy as it used to be, stuff like that. It's actually not that big a deal. The biggest cause I see with that in people is their waiter straps. That's why for years you see someone that has the buckle here, they take it off and just have one strap on while they're hunting. Of course, now a lot of these waders have the thinner one, stuff like that. It's not that big a deal. Or people would wear a vest over the outside of their waders for that. But I can't tell how many times I watched somebody throw a gun up and that buttstock hit their buckle and they shoot like this. So, crap, like it.
That'd be a good excuse though. Like if I miss a duck, it's just gonna be my thing.
It was on my waiter.
Bulky jacket,
waiter strap,
waiter buckle.
Or the high hand pockets on some of those old pullovers that would flop out. People would get hung in them. But it does, but even then, that's take a vest and put it on while you shoot it and take it off, and you'll see. And you think about it, you're leading a duck when you shoot it, up, down, whatever. So lots of people, when they pull the trigger, even deer hunting, turkey hunting, what do you naturally do? You're going to pull up just a hair.
Just a hair.
So you'll see skeet shooters and them talk about, we line them up dead on, or because of the rise, maybe a hair high, maybe. And so you naturally pull up with it. You're following it up. That means you're staying out in front of it naturally.
I'm bad about when I shoot, not getting my weight right. Like, when you shoot, you need to put more weight forward.
Yes.
Get on that
you need
forward
to lean
foot,
into
lean into it.
Yeah, that's teaching
I'm bad
shooting.
about, especially out there in the timber, in that water, uneven surfaces, I'm bad
You're resting on your weight on your back leg.
I do.
It's comfortable,
I
it's
come
safe.
back on the back leg, and I don't get down far enough. So I know that's one of the many mistakes I probably make.
A lot of people don't get down on the gun, and they try to quick shoot. Mm-hmm. And you hear a lot of people talk about, I missed my first. It's kind of like golf. My first shot sucked, but my second shot could go pro. Right. Like take that extra second And I've learned, like, if whoever calls a shot, whether it's me or somebody else, I never shoot first. Because the first shot, when the ducks are being natural, is some of the hardest shots. But the moment somebody shoots, what does every duck do?
Go to a
Takes
panic.
a straight line up, top of their head, let it roll like that, and it's easy.
That 4 shot would be money, wouldn't it?
Oh man, certain guns you might, but like you take this one right here, everything is above the breast and a perfect circle around the head.
Yep.
Like you can't ask for a better than that. Like that's what you want. You ain't gonna kill nothing in the wings or down here in the butt. You want everything breast up, and so. But like I said, when I got that gun, that's the first thing I did is I played with the shims. I tried it this way because you'll have 3 things. You'll have the one right there between the receiver and the buttstock, which that's the drop, and it can tilt it too. Then a lot of them have, like our A5s, there's that metal plate that when you pull off the butt pad, there's a plate right there on the back of the recoil spring rod. Mm-hmm. And that plate, there's different thicknesses of it. You flip it over one way, it puts it to the other way. It helps adjust it too. And so
I'm thinking about taking this one and
there's great YouTube videos on that. Like you don't have to read a book and figure it out. YouTube your gun, set up, adjustment, shim setup, and there'll be from the manufacturer a video on there on how to do it. And it's fun. I mean, it's something to play with your gun and get it set up for you and lined out.
I'm thinking about taking mine to someone, I know one of the guys most popular around here, Rob Roberts. I don't know how busy he is or what he's still doing, but if not him, someone like him that adjusts the guns. I'm thinking about taking this one and just getting it set up. Like, I'm tall. I'm 6'4". The factory guns are not going to be. They don't make them for 6'4".
They don't. The guns are not made for long arm either. They're standard length to pull.
I'd like to get a professional look at it. So watch me shoot one. Get the gun lined out. And I know I had one once that I told a guy to trick out, and it was really nice. And I know he did a lot of stuff with the forcing cone and other things like that, which I really have got very limited understanding of what that actually does. That forcing I know has to do with the shot and like getting a special sight and all that. But I'd really like to go to someone who really knows what they're doing and trick one of these things out. They trick this gun out and have it to shoot.
Some of that stuff is, it's kind of like, a lot of it's like duck boats were 10 years ago. Duck boats came in 3 factory colors. War Eagle's about the only one that put their own stencil camo on one. Express had kind of a deal, but so there was all these people that painted boats. Well, now these companies are painting the boats at the factory in these fancy colors. So it's kind of the same thing. Like Rob Roberts still does it, still does a great job, and they do more than a factory gun. But you're seeing when you bought your Benelli, it came with extended chokes, 4 still shot, 4 waterfowl. Like a lot of them are starting to come out with their own things because they realize there's money in it, they charge more and all that. But what you're talking about, the forcing cone, you'll get some of them that are ported down at the end for the gas release, which means when you have that, you have less pressure for the shot to go out. So it holds the pattern more. It doesn't jump, less flyers, so they pattern better. And some of those, like with him, they have their own chokes. Like Briley for years had their own chokes because they were big in the sporting clays and all that. And it's like when we set your barrel up, we know what our chokes do with those barrels. Therefore, we recommend our chokes. Rob's is the same way. His choke was designed for the work he does on a gun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's benefit to that. Is that something that, that would warrant the type of hunting you do? If I'm constantly field hunting and longer range shots, finishing shots, cripple shots, yeah. For most people in the woods, I mean, I'm shooting ducks from here the door right 15 foot away most of the time. And that's why people laugh at me. My standard choke is close range or improved cylinder. And in my bag, I carry a skeet choke for my 12 gauge or my 28 gauge, the 2 guns I carry the most. Because there's times we them in the woods and you're shooting them 10 foot in front of you and an improved cylinder is too tight. Like they'll be right there.
Everybody hates the guy that's got that ported gun, especially if you find yourself out into a pit or something.
Blind.
A pit blind, man.
Or the guy that shows up to a pit blind with a 24-inch Mossberg turkey special, and it's like, rolling through there.
You got the pistol grip down here.
Those guys that thought take the 410 judges out and tried to duck hunt with him, it's like, dude, shoot the other way.
No doubt.
We're putting you on the end, and you face that way. That is your alleyway right there. But
them suckers are loud in them pits.
and some of it too, I think a lot of the chokes and all that aftermarket stuff. You remember that was nothing. That was never popular. You know, Browning's Invector and rim chokes were some of the first ones back in the 80s. Before that, you pretty much had fixed barrels because it was lead shot.
Right.
When steel come out and it sucked in the early 90s, choke started getting more popular. Browning's really the first one I remember having extended specific chokes, like an extra full ported turkey choke. Like
because Patternmaster come out, they were short. They were just barrel end.
But that was because the shot sucked so much.
Yeah.
They were trying to help pattern the shot. Now that wad technology, steel shot, your heavy shot, hybrid, mixed loads, all this has come out. I'm not saying don't support these companies. The extended aftermarket chokes are great. I shoot one. But don't discount your factory choke either for testing and lining something up. Like lots of times those shoot just as good now because the science and technology is a lot better in it too. But that's the fun thing about playing with the different ones and having at it and stuff like that. So
I'm glad to see what you said about the 3-inch versus 3.5, because on this one I just bought the 3-inch.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like
just don't shoot 3.5.
But
and
again,
I'm not,
shell technology, you don't necessarily need. Not knocking. I still keep 3.5 number twos because there's just something fun about shooting them, you know. And that's what I carry spec hunting lots of times for that reason.
Yeah,
I get some more pellets, a bigger pellet. Sure,
goose or turkey, you may want something heavier.
But like the pattern doesn't lie. Like the 3-inch. Smaller pellets, they pack better, and I mean that's 44 pellets inside of that 10-inch. That's unreal. You know that's duck's
pretty
dead.
impressive.
Yeah, and so
He says on here yards. I wonder if he got yards and feet confused. I mean, that's a lot of pellets, and
25 yards.
they're more like a 25-foot Dusty shot, I think.
I mean I measured it off.
Well, they big steps on those.
They weren't
yards.
Sasquatch steps like yours, no, but they were 3-foot steps like a yard. I think you're still meters over there. You're 3.3 feet.
I'd been here. We'd put tape on that.
Yeah.
Just bring yours up here, and we'll figure that out real quick.
I got to get that. I got to get something done with that double barrel I had so much fun with a couple years ago. I got to figure out how to get that trigger not to cut my finger open every time
I figured that out because for my 28 double barrel, I had the same issue. I figured
what was it?
There's a Beretta makes a rubber back end of the trigger guard that you squeeze on. It's got a metal deal with like a rubber bumper so your finger rests against it, and it stops a lot of that busted knuckle stuff behind the deal.
I need something.
And so, and that works. I know that I found that out because one of the guys that has a Vinci with the weird trigger guard, he was having that issue when he goose hunted. He said, duck load's not bad, but goose hunting, I feel like I'm going to break my finger because I naturally go up against it for a rest. And he found that and told it to me, and it works great. It made a world of difference.
I do that with a Super Vinci. That's what I'm shooting.
Yeah.
Super Vinci.
It has that weird cut back there, and most people, when they grab their gun, they go up to that, and that's their natural position. And some of those, the heavier loads, but like ours aren't polymer. They're straight up metal. Mm-hmm. They're steel, the trigger guards, and they'll bust your finger.
This is not bust, it's pinching. I'm thinking the trigger's got a big curve to it. I don't know if the finger's coming through that, and as it's recoiling, it's pinching.
Are you putting both fingers in there and then pulling the front one and pinching the second one? Because you're supposed to use just one finger.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't.
The first thing to your gun is, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, you got to remember to cock the hammer when you go to shoot it.
No, it was a safety.
The safety.
Because I thought if the hammer's cocked, that sucker's ready to shoot, but it's got a safety as well. So, yeah, I was trying to shoot my first duck with it, and the safety was on.
First time he took it hunting, pretty good wad, 20 plus, landed in the decoys.
19 max.
Yeah, 20 plus landed in decoys. We're all waiting for Brad to shoot with this fancy new gun, and I look over, and it's, shoot! It's like, we finally shot, and I think killed a couple of them. They all got out of there. And was like, what happened? Oh, there's a safety on here. I didn't know. So go shoot your guns.
Well,
get familiar.
Well, I fired the first shot like the day before. Went out there just to shoot it, just to make sure that it would actually shoot, and then went hunting with it. And it was in my mind, hammer's back. We're ready to rock and roll. But no,
It still had a little top tank.
Still had a little safety that was built into it. But anyway. Well, all right, guys, you got me fired up now. I'm going to go I got to get this gun out. I got to shoot it and see what I want to do, patterning, maybe go to Rob Roberts and see everything but the porting on it, see what I need to do to trick this thing out, and be a fun thing to do in the off season. Of course, it's summertime. It won't be too much longer. I'm telling you, this year's flying by so far.
Well, I think it's already June.
Mid-June.
It's mid-June right now.
You got 75 days of teal season, the dove season.
Think about
that. 75
we got
days.
shows coming up we're fixing to go to in July. Be gone most of the month of July and part of August.
Yeah, we'll be in Alabama for a couple of weekends. We're supposed to go to Huntsville one weekend and then to Birmingham to the World Deer Expo.
Sporting Goods coming up 1st of August, and Presto's Outdoors after that, and maybe a few others.
Yeah, a lot to do. Well, Dusty, thanks for coming back and
Good to
joining
see you
us
again,
today.
brother.
So it's been a long time.
2 weeks later. I swear it was 2
Our
weeks.
months is his weeks, you know.
That's what it feels like some days.
Well, you know, the best one I asked you guys about Father's Day, we didn't even talk about Jake. He's had his toes in the sand. Producer Jake, he's been he's been
Where did that get you? In the nose?
No, it got me right there.
Oh.
Almost put an eye
thing
out,
shot
man.
high. Well, Jake handed me this, and it's like a
He
little
wanted him
kid
to
dart
shoot
gun,
me.
and I just pointed
seen
at
you
him.
hand it to
I thought
him.
it'd like fall over. No, this thing, I'm taking this duck hunting. That thing is,
I'd have to say the pattern on that sucker's good.
man.
Dude, you do what you want to do, but that camera looks like Exhibit A to me. I mean, this is I would take some legal action
We're
on
doing
that.
this in the elite call shop on the Outdoor Asylum.
That's a work.
I see an
that's a
attorney
work
getting
comp claim.
involved.
Yeah.
I'll get a phone call. That's a work comp claim.
Work comp. At least work comp. I think there's legal issues here. We need to talk to you. I think I got a form somewhere for you to fill out.
We need to outlaw this
Yeah, and
I'll tell you what, that thing's got a little kick.
for pocket
Little power.
rocket.
Oh, I'm not on you. I'm on Jake. I seen Jake hand it to you.
Jake snuck it.
Blame the gun company.
The supplier.
All right, here we go.
we're gonna sue Mattel.
Let's see who we coming after. I can't even read.
Fisher and Price.
It's Chinese. Yeah. Zuru.
Yeah, well, we got plenty.
Hey, we
of
might take this duck hunting. Try
I
this.
guarantee you.
Ooh,
Hold that in front of your
yeah.
face. We're gonna try it again.
I'm not
We'll let
that-
Dusty take another shot
Hey,
at you.
I'll take the next one because dang, that I was like thinking it might not even make it there. This little thing, Jake's like,
I had no idea what hit me. I didn't even know he pulled it. Oh, he got close.
I got close. This needs shims in it because I was
He
aiming
would have
low.
been tripped out if it's still sticking right
Yeah,
there.
Friends like this, we don't need enemies.
if it had got him when his mouth was open.
Nerf gun fights.
All right, guys.
Always something around here.
It is.
You know, it's like Jake making them that little picture he sent us not too long ago.
We'll have to do that. We need to start off the next podcast and show that. We did. Jake did he made a little thing of Step
It's
Brothers.
just
The
too
picture.
easy.
Yeah. Well, we'll start the next.
You
show
notice
about-
he sent that to us when he was going on vacation. He wasn't coming back for a while.
He was out of reach. Yeah.
Yeah, David and I were Photoshop victims. Tune in next time, and we'll start out. We'll tell the story, and we'll show the Photoshop assault that we did with that Jake did with us. So it's I don't know if it's artificial intelligence or real intelligence or Photoshop. I don't know what it was that
Jake intelligence.
It didn't make neither one of you prettier, so I doubt it's AI.
it didn't add any
did,
intelligence.
you know,
I
it
know that.
Absolutely not.
It's not like when you went to work for Roden and Fields and became Brad Pitt for a week.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
Sales went up.
Sales went way up. That's why you had to retire. They couldn't handle it.
All right, you guys have a good week,
Take care, guys.
and we'll see you next week.